Welcome back! The Archdruid told us that there is a way to return spirits from the realm of the dead. This involves finding Death's horse and using it to hitch a ride to the realm of the dead and then challenging the Lord of the Dead. What, to a game of chess? I don't know. Apparently, the exact procedure for how to do this was lost. The druids were a bit vague about it, so we're going to have to improvise. But hey, we're good at that. They also mentioned another incident of theft. Apparently, the druid's sacred bonsai tree was stolen. And it seems that all of these instances of theft are behind the feuding of the islands. Every island had their stuff stolen by another island. That seems awfully coincidental. And awfully convenient for Al-Hazred. And I already pointed out that it's actually rather unlikely, especially for the beast to have stolen anything, considering considering he's never left the island. And how could the druids have stolen his family seal if nobody has ever broken through the traps that we broke through to get to the beast? It's all a mystery. And how did somebody steal something from the druids if this island is supposed to be hidden? Although it's not much of a secret, considering it was mentioned in the guidebook. And obviously Al-Hazred knows where it is, because he was able to warn the druids about us, probably using Shamir Shamazel to do so. Anyway, if we are going to enlist the aid of Death's horse, we will need that charming a creature of the night spell, for which we need glowing oak embers. And wouldn't you know it, there's some right here.
The embers from the bonfire are still smoldering despite the rain.
So let's fill our skull with that.
Alexander scoops up some of the red-hot embers in the ancient human skull.
Ooh. Okay. We also need to add that sulfur from the spoiled egg.
Alexander cracks the spoiled egg and dumps it into the skull containing the embers. The spoiled egg hisses as it makes contact with the hot embers. Zounds, the steam. Phew, the smell of sulfur.
Another instance where I'm glad that there's no smell-o-vision in games. Finally, a strand of hair from a pure-hearted maiden. Let's hope Cosima will do.
Alexander puts the strand of hair into the skull containing the embers and the spoiled egg.
Now, according to the instructions, we just need to speak the incantation over the skull in presence of the creature. Which means we need to find it first. Incidentally, actually, another effect of doing this is that we lost Beauty's clothes in the fire, meaning that we're going to have to find a different way of getting into the castle. Disguising ourselves as a serving maid is not going to work this time around. Like we did in the short path. Anyway, where could we find that horse? Can you actually go to the druid's village after this happened? I don't know for sure. Let's find out. You can, but nobody's home. Where did they all go? I don't know. Anyway, the druid said that Binky I mean Nightmare, comes to the mortal realm to eat some noxious plants. Now, where have we seen noxious plants before? On the Isle of the Sacred Mountain, of course. The nightshade bush that the genie tried to get us to eat from.
Alexander pulls out his magic map. Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
Incidentally, remember that we found this feather here on the beach, directly underneath said noxious plants, which indicates that that feather belonged to the horse, and therefore is the black horse feather that we need for the magic paint spell. Now we have to climb the cliffs of logic again. Fortunately, the game designers are nice enough to let us skip most of these screens. And look at that!
Alexander arrives at the top of the cliffs, somewhat winded after his long but uneventful climb.
There he is! Binky, Death's horse. Yeah, I know he's called Nightmare in this game. I much prefer calling him Binky. Death is sort of an appropriate name for the save game now, isn't it? Eating the nightshade bush.
A mighty winged horse, the color of midnight, is feeding from the nightshade bush. The creature must be Nightmare, the one the druids spoke about.
Indeed, and I'm guessing he probably won't let us come close.
Alexander decides to take the straightforward approach and grab the black creature.
That's going to be a great idea, isn't it?
Nightmare is not amused.
I guess not. You know, considering the druid said that people who saw Nightmare were lucky to get away with their souls, I really would have expected that to kill you, but it doesn't. Else, I'm not entirely sure if Nightmare will be back, but considering this is King's Quest 6 and not King's Quest 5, I suppose he will be. Incidentally, notice that you can go into the catacombs, and if you do so, you will notice that the winged ones have been true to their word and that all the traps have been disarmed. So you can go back in there and get any items you may have missed without any problems. We don't need to, though. We need to charm this creature of the night, using our Charm a Creature of the Night spell. Isn't it nice how you always have exactly the right spells you need in these kinds of games? There we go. Let's cast this spell.
Alexander solemnly speaks the incantation over the skull.
Creature of night, to me succumb. Fire and brimstone leave thee numb. Purity bind thee like a chain, to do whate'er I now ordain.
Ooh, turns into a hand.
Nightmare flares her nostrils at the scent of the fire and brimstone.
That's it. Come on. I need passage to your homeland, fiery one.
Unable to resist the power of the enchanted smell, Nightmare approaches Alexander. Her eyes appear glassy and sightless. In her hypnotized state, she is unaware of the humans so close to her flank, or of anything at all except that marvelous smell.
Now ride!
This seems very poorly thought out.
nightmare deposits Alexander on a strange, cold world. And some of the inhabitants don't look too friendly.
Indeed. And they're not too friendly. Some of them, if you approach them too closely, will kill you. Therefore, it is in our best interest to save here. Those are the ones that are best avoided.
The ghoulish animated bodies of the undead roam the haunted landscape.
Yes, it's quite an interesting looking place.
Alexander is standing on the surface of the realm of the dead. The barren, surreal landscape is cold and gray. Twisted shapes loom on the horizon. The surface is haunted by the ghoulish shapes of the undead and by the chained, tormented spirits of mortals unable to rest in peace.
Apparently, if these chained spirits are hanging around here too long, they will turn into the undead. And you really don't want to get too close to them.
Uh-oh. One of the wandering ghouls brushes up against Alexander. The touch of the putrid flesh dissolves the living matter like acid.
Well, at least Alexander didn't have to go far to get here this time.
Alexander's mother always told him to avoid bad ghouls.
That's an awfully specific thing to warn someone about.
Who are you, poor undead creatures? I see. How interesting.
Not the conversational types, it seems. But then, what did you expect? I must say I really love the Realm of the Dead. The design of it is very appropriate and creepy. Probably my favorite location in the game. But we'll see what we can accomplish here in the next video.